Good morning, students. It's our next chapter, chapter number 6, development. And in this chapter, we will read about the various terms of development, the achievements, or the problems of exciting models of development, various alternative models of development, or what is the impact of development in our society, means in the ancient time period or recent, and in future the positive and the negative impact of development. So as an introduction, we can say that the idea of development become a main concern after the industrial revolution, which was started in western nations and impacted the whole world slowly but steady. Development refers to the achievement of social and economic progress by the transforming conditions of underdevelopment as low productivity, stagnation, and poverty. Especially during the time period of Cold War, the Western nations provide various ads to the Eastern nations and introduce various programs like the new International Economic Order, to in this to find out the LDC, least developed nations, and provide the financial help, the technological help, teach the process of investment, especially on the agricultural field, or provide the market facilities, and Marshall Plan, and that Western nations provide the financial help after the loss of the Second World War to the European nations or the Eastern nations to reestablish their economy. Development conveys the idea of improvement, progress, well being, and an aspiration for better life, to articulars a version for the society as a whole, and various methods to achieve it. Through this, the governmental and the non-governmental both type of programs are responsible for the growth and development. Development cannot be understood as only we treat the term development in economic terms, but it can also place in the social and political terms, means the overall growth and development of the nation, the growth of the society, the growth of the individual to provide the basic facilities in front of the poor and needy society, or this is the main idea behind the development. It is not limited in the term of economic development, means the investment, the production, and the market activities, all that. Development bears the different approaches, also like that psychological, human needs development, dependency, the Gandhian principle of development, the market friendly approaches, etc. And in recent time period, a phase is very important or popular, that the sustainable development. It makes the efforts to meet the well-being needs of present and future generations. Gandhian view of development to be quite different from the Western model of development. Means the Western model, they generally focus on the idea of capitalist, means the idea of investment and gain profit. And Gandhian principle, it is focused on the overall growth and development, means the socialist model of development. So it is quite a different model of development, and made the distinction difference or between the economic and the real model of development. Or generally we can say that development conveys the idea of improvement, progress, well-being, and an effort for a better life. Through its notion of development, a society articulates what constitutes its vision for the society as a whole, and how best to achieve it. In its narrow sense, the term development refers to more limited goals, such as increasing the rate of economic growth, the modernization of the society, or the models of development which have been adopted in different countries have become the subject of debate and criticism, and the alternative models have been put forward. Now, the model of development also face the various types of challenges. So, the challenges of development means the concept of development gain importance after the second half of the 20th century, when the large number of Asian and European nations gained their political independence near the time period of 1950s and 16, when the mostly Asian and African countries achieved their independence from the colonial rule. The most urgent task in front of them means that decolonized countries was to solve the pressing problems of illiteracy, the lack of basic amenities, the opportunities, starvation, unemployment, these type of basic negative conditions that a majority of their population faced these type of problems. A criticism also take place in a high social cost mm, mm, of this development because of the displacement that has led to many struggles in the countries, especially the problem of migration, and it is a type of extra financial burden on our government. So development should not be measured only on the term of materials only, but it can also be measured in terms of happiness, harmony, and satisfaction of essential needs. So the concept of development has undergone many changes over the time period. Means in the previous time period we can say that it is very limited to fulfill or to satisfy the demand of the citizens, like to fulfill the basic needs, means education, cloth, housing facilities, uh, few sources of employment, all that. But in modern time period, the term development refers to the luxurious life, or the high standard of living, the lavish way of life. So in the initial years, the focus was on catching up with the West in terms of economic growth and modernization of societies. Developing countries adopted goals like the faster economic growth, the industrialization, the modernization of agriculture, and extending and modernizing the system of education. In India, a series of a 5 year plan which was adopted, or which was borrowed by the Russian model for development, were made starting from the 1950s, and these included a number of mega projects such as the Bhangra Nangal Dam, setting up the steel plants in different parts of the country, the mining, the fertilizer production, and improving the agriculture techniques during the time period of Green Revolution, or to provide the basic facilities for the huge agricultural production, to remove the less dependency on the uh, Western nations. Means during the time period of Indira Gandhi's rule, or Indira Gandhi's government, when America explained that stopped or refused to give help to India, that to fulfill the demand of food during the time period of monsoon fail or food crisis. After that, we introduce such type of green revolution type of programs to fulfill or to enhance the home production, or to satisfy the demand of its people. The new educational institutions like the Indian Institution of Technology were set up, and collaboration with the advanced countries in order to have access to their knowledge become a top priority at that time. Now the criticism of the developmental model, that what type of the model means what type of problems or what type of impact that model gave in our society. So first is it is divided into three parts: the two explains almost the negative impact of on the society, and one describes the positive impact. That we cannot say that development always gives a negative impact on our society. Yes, it is that mostly impacted negatively, but it also gives a positive impact or influence on our society. So criticism of development have pointed out that the kind of development models which have been adopted in many countries have proved very costly for the developing countries. Now first is the social cost of development. Means the model this model of development has also had the high social cost. A large number of people have been displaced from their homes and localities due to the construction of big dams, the industrial activities, means the establishment of various factories and mining activities and various other projects. So displacement result a loss of livelihood and increase the less improvement conditions. Displacement also provide that people have also protested against this, like the Narmada Bachao Andolan, which has been leading a movement against the Sardar Sarovar Dam on the river Narmada for many years, and still it is continued. And the movement led by Medha Patkar, it is a social activist, and the supporters of this dam clearly claim that it will generate the electricity which is helpful for aggregate agrarian sector, a large number of area of land, and also provide the drinking water to the deserted areas like Kutch and Saurashtra. The but its negative impact that million of people face the problem or issue of displacement. The opponents of the dam claim that almost 1 million people have been displaced, and they have lost their land through the submergence or the construction, and the consequently lost their livelihood. Some even average that the dam would greatly upset the ecological balance, submerging large tracts of forest. Now the second one is the environmental cost of the development. That development has needed caused a high degree of environment degradation in many countries, and not just the displaced people, but all over the population is being to feel the consequence. Means the means through UNO there were so many programs like the Kyoto Protocol, the Agenda 21, that focus on these type of common problems. Means a developing nation or create less environment pollution than a developed nation. In the land in the long term activities, the ecological crisis will adversely affect all of us. The air pollution is already a problem which does not discriminate between the rich and the poor nations. In the short term, indiscriminate use of resources tends to adversely affect the underprivileged more sharply. Loss of forest affect the underprivileged more sharply. Loss of forest affect the poor who use forest resources for a variety of substance. Means especially like the firewood, the mechanical or the for the mechanical tools or the medical herbs or food. Means dying upon up of rivers and ponds and falling groundwater level means that the women are overall have to walk longer in order to find the drinking water. Hence, the deforestation or afforestation is a better option, or deforestation create a huge problem in front of the tribal community especially. The model of development is heavily dependent on the increasing use of energy. Most of the energy currently generated in the world is from the non renewable resources like the coal and petroleum. Now, the next topic is ascending development, means the positive side or the positive impact of development. Development also have a positive side. Some countries have had some success in increasing their rate of economic growth and even in reducing the poverty. They have a better living conditions. They successfully remove the the problem of employment from their country and provide a better job and better health working conditions in front of its population. But overall inequalities have not been seriously reduced, and poverty continues to be a problem in developing world. And for the developed nation it really reduced. When economic growth and redistribution do not go together, the benefits are likely to be concerned by those who are already privileged. In development is If development is understood as a process which aims to improve the quality of life of people, it could be argued that measuring the rate of economic growth alone would be an inadequate and at times misleading indicator of development. There is now a research for alternative ways of measuring development. One such attempt is Human Development Report, that is HRD, which is annually brought out by the United Nations Development Program UNDP. This report ranks countries on the basis of their programs, their performances, their growth rate in the social indicators like the literacy rate, the education level, the life expectancy, the mortality rate, the and etc. These measures is called the Human Development Index. Now rest of the topics we will discuss in our next class.